I'm Dina Jackway, Parkview's Chief Administrative Officer, and welcome to Parkview Connections. It's a podcast geared to help Parkview coworkers and our community learn and grow and develop in leadership. So today we are on location here on the construction site of Parkview Southwest, and I have with me two individuals from Wygand Construction, Larry Wygand, CEO, and Chris Thosby, the Director of Business Development. So guys, thanks for being here today. And I love that we're here truly on site. There is construction happening all around us. So for those that are listening, if you hear any random noises, construction did not stop because we were here this morning. So Wygand has been a tremendous partner with us on so many different projects. And so we talk about bold leadership here on this podcast a lot. And it's really about learning styles, lessons learned, just that leadership journey. And because we've worked together on so many projects between Parkview and Wygand, I think our cultures have certainly been aligned. But I really want to start, Larry, with you and go back, and we'll come back to that culture question maybe at the end. Where did this all start for you? I mean, is this what you thought you'd be doing?
Well, our company was founded in 1906 by my great-grandfather. So I'm fourth generation in the family business. But I never thought I'd be doing construction in Fort Wayne for the family business. When I graduated from Purdue in 1991, there really wasn't an opportunity. My dad didn't say anytime, when I was working in the summers or anytime in college, like, I want you to come back to the business. I want you to, work at Wygand Construction. And so I went and interviewed and had 3 job offers in big markets with big construction companies, and was very close to accepting a job offer with a top 3 in the world construction company to go over to the Middle East and help rebuild Iraq infrastructure after the first Gulf War. So I was ready to go, had my bags packed, ready to do something else in construction because I love construction. I grew up around it. But one thing led to another, and I came back and interviewed for a job with my dad. We talked about business continuity and what he wanted to do. And one thing led to another. I was hired as a project manager and an estimator, and actually started a safety department for us. And a year and a half later, I ended up buying 100% of the company from my dad.
Wow. So first of all, boiler up, Purdue grad as well. So why did you stay? I mean, all these years then, fast forward to you've stayed in Fort Wayne. You have so many projects across this region that make Fort Wayne and Northeast Indiana a better place to live and work and play. So what makes this area so special?
Born and raised in Fort Wayne, my heart was always here. And so the idea of taking a company that was founded 4 generations ago in 1906, and when I bought the company, it only had 35 employees. Now we have more than 400. And what we're able to do to provide impact for organizations like Parkview, for organizations around this community, it's been incredibly, I'm grateful for the opportunity. It's been so satisfying seeing what our company has been able to do, the people in our company, to come alongside organizations. We have a Wygand Y, and our Wygand Y is building landmarks that impact the lives and the communities we serve. And what better way to provide impact is through our bricks and mortar and doing great work for Parkview and other clients around the community that in turn do great impact projects for communities.
There's been a tremendous impact, and a lot of that comes with leadership. So what's some of the best leadership advice you've received along the way that's really shaped you as a leader?
My dad simply said, the harder you work, the luckier you get. I think it's a spin of something Thomas Jefferson said, I'm a firm believer in luck, but if you work hard, you get more of it, something like that. So that is just something that I've grown up with, and I think that it's a little bit of a mantra, inside our organization, that you make your own luck, you work hard, you put yourselves in positions to win.
Part of culture is important to any organization. So, and we'll talk maybe a little bit about some of those synergies that maybe we see between Parkview and Wygand on culture, but talk about what Wygand's culture is like.
Some of the best leadership, things that I learned on the football field from, playing in high school. And I had a coach that always said to us, you can't buy sweat. You got to earn it. And so I took that to heart, is, never let anybody outwork you. The other thing is you want to, win with grace, lose with dignity. You learn more from your mistakes than you do from your things that you do really well and your victories. The other thing is teamwork. Teamwork trumps all. All the company has to be doing the right thing at the right time for you to be successful. The other thing is communicate, communicate, communicate. As you think about leadership, I can go back to my high school days, playing football with what the coaches told me and how you performed. And I take a lot of those to work with me every single day.
So then how do those are all fantastic, and you're right, there's such synergy between sports and athletics and later in life in career. So how does all of that leadership advice culminate into what the culture of Wigand is?
My role at Wigand Construction is kind of that golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do to you. So don't do anything or ask your employees to do anything that you wouldn't be comfortable doing yourself. Do the right things for the right reasons. Our culture is one of, I think, accountability. Our culture also, I think, is full of client-first mentality. We need to make sure that the old school thinking of providing a project on time, on budget, that's the ante in. Everybody does that. We want to be more than just a contractor, just a construction partner. We want to be a community partner. We want to find solutions. We want to approach every job issue as an opportunity to get through it in a way that brings value. We want to understand the healthcare business just as much as our construction business and the other types of projects. We think our job is to do more than provide projects on time and on budget. It's to be a partner and be providing solutions along the way.
Agree wholeheartedly. Value in that partnership is so important.
So culture could be, the mortar in between. You talk about strategy, you talk about process, procedure, all the other things. Without that culture as the mortar tying everything together, you don't have a good wall. You don't have a sustainable wall. You don't have a company without culture.
All right, Chris, so your turn.
All right.
So tell us a little bit about your role at Wigand.
So I'm the Director of Business Development. I've been with Wigand 25 years. Larry hired me 25 years ago as our first project engineer. So my first 10 years with Wigand, I was in operations, project management, estimating, being a project engineer, and then converted over to business development because we saw our work move in that direction a lot, where it was more community-based, interviewing for work, kind of winning on qualifications. And since 2007, 2008, I've been in that role and leading a team in a couple of different offices.
So we heard Larry talk about the culture, and not to put you on the spot, but what would you add to that just in terms of how do you see the culture at Wigand, just from your vantage point?
I love our culture. I think some of the benefits of it is if you look at, we have a great mix of people that have been maybe here as long as I have been, with a lot of new people, as he talked about earlier with the growth of our company. One of the strongest assets of our company is the people that have been here for a long time, taking people underneath their wing in a mentor role and wanting them to succeed. That's probably what I'd say is our biggest strength right now.
In the construction world, what's one of the biggest challenges you're having right now today, and how are you working through that?
Very similar to a lot of industries right now. Labor's king, right? We're trying to find people to grow our company. There's a shortage. We're having in our field, we have more people retiring at a higher rate than we are young people coming into the industry. We rely on all of our subs and suppliers throughout the industry to get us over the finish line, and they're experiencing the same things that we are. So that's a big deal. The second piece is material procurement, equipment procurement, and right now the strategies that are associated with trying to overcome those are pretty intense, because we have things on a commodity base like concrete, steel, wood over the last 2 years that have been really difficult to procure. And when you're trying to open businesses and get owners their return on investment as quickly as possible, these are real big stoppers that we have to get around in order to kind of win the game.
Say there are some projects that you have a to-do list, but say it's more of a to-don't list, where, okay, there are times where you have to say no to a particular project just because this perhaps the labor or perhaps the materials, or maybe there are other reasons, but how do you help work through a to-don't list, and what's the triggers for you to make the decisions of projects you might not say yes to?
Yeah, great question. I think there's an external and an internal answer to that. So externally, we're only as good as the last project that we've completed. So I think it's really important that you not take on too much work and then fail. You fail your client, you fail their mission, what they're trying to accomplish, and it's going to stick with you for a long period of time. So, really being resolute in looking at what you have, not overcommitting. The biggest culture killer is to just heap stuff on people within your organization and not be able to, support them adequately, or just say, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Those days are behind us. I mean, we're a strategic team. We're a team that looks into the future, that's really proud of the planning that we put in place. If we didn't do that, then we'd probably have a higher turnover in our company, and it would kill our culture.
I mean, everything you just said applies to every industry. Like
Across the
whoever
board.
is listening. I mean, our coworkers at Parkview, our leaders at Parkview, out in the community. I mean, one of the best pieces of leadership advice I've received is the quality of your yes depends on your ability to say no. So it's really something where if you keep saying yes to everything and then the quality gets less and less, that's where you really started to get into trouble. So recognizing what you do have to say no to is so important. So because you have so many projects going on, of which we are currently in one, you have done so many other projects for us, and we certainly Parkview Regional Medical Center and many others. When we think about our cultures, because you've worked with Parkview for so long, for both of you, I guess, to respond, how do our cultures align? Where do you see, I mean, the more that you continue to do for us, and you obviously engage with our teams and we're engaging with yours, why does that work so well?
We're all about you're providing, excellence in healthcare. You're always looking for opportunities to grow and expand and be better. And we're looking for those same opportunities to grow, expand, be better. We have a culture of continued learning. We're asking for feedback from our clients. We're asking for feedback from our coworkers. How can we do things better? What did we maybe fall short on, and how can we improve? And I know that Parkview always has a survey going on how they can do better. We always have surveys going on, what can we do better internally and externally. So it's a continued learning environment. I think leaders are learners, lifetime learners, and we gotta always figure that somebody is gonna try and be better than Wygant Construction, and so we gotta always take that next step, and I know Parkview Health does the same thing.
You're constantly learning so that you can bring more tools to your toolbox. So we, Parkview, are also just constantly wanting our coworkers to go and learn and do more, be certified in things, go back and get more of an education to really be able to move throughout the organization.
Well, and we take a holistic approach too. It's not just professional development. We're looking at holistic for mental health, physical health, and by the way, we want you to be better at your jobs, leadership, and those things, because we get it as far as culture. We're in a high stress job. We run fast, and no one day that you start out thinking you're going to get something done. That's never the way the day goes. And so we want people to be nimble, flexible, and be in a good spot to be able to be responsive. And for that, you need to be holistically healthy.
And you want to support coworkers and have them bring their entire self to work, which means wrapping your arms around all the things that you can provide them, both for them, their families, themselves. You're spot on. That holistic approach really helps people step back and be supported in a broad way. Chris, any comments about the culture and the alignment that you see?
I think one of the fun things or good things about working with the Parkview team, we always know the why. And I think that's really important, that we feel like we're an extension of your team on site. So we always know that it's not just a date, or it's not just a dollar figure. There's a piece behind it that we actually understand, that as far as a target for why you guys are trying to get to a certain location. And that really helps us for our culture, because then we kind of can all be going in the right direction.
I think one thing, just having worked with our construction team at Parkview, one thing I love is it's a lot about a transaction. It's really about getting that entire project and trying to be as proactive as possible, but at the end deliver. This is all about delivering. This building that we're in that's going to be built is all about delivering excellent care. Well, thank you both for being here today, but also just thank your teams. I mean, just the tremendous skill and talents that they bring to all of the, not just the Parkview facilities that they're part of creating, but so many landmarks in our region that are just gems. And all of their skills behind it have been just obviously things that we enjoy every day where we live, work, and play here in the region. You have a lot to be proud of, certainly both of you here at Wygant.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks. We were so thrilled to take a little bit of a field trip here to Parkview Southwest. The opening date for Parkview Southwest is going to be October of 2023, providing much needed services here on this end of Fort Wayne. So we're thrilled to be able to have this opportunity. And I will note that I did follow all safety instructions, including I could not wear heels today, so had to wear tennis shoes, hard hat, all the right safety gear. Thank you guys for making sure I followed everything appropriately. Today was a great way of really, again, engaging with one of our community partners and understanding that leadership transcends all industries. It really doesn't matter what industry you're from. So many of the things that were shared today by Larry and Chris were things that we carry over into our world of leadership within Parkview Health. So great to show that connection. And this is going to be airing just the week after Thanksgiving. So I just want to pause a moment, and I hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving season with your families. I know many of you worked on Thanksgiving, and so thank you for that sacrifice, and I hope that you all enjoyed that time of blessings and joy with your family. Parkview wouldn't be what it is certainly today without all of you. So thank you to all 15,000 of our coworkers across the region. And thanks for tuning in for another episode of Parkview Connections. Don't forget, coworkers can submit their suggestions on the Pulse page, but then also members of our community on the YouTube site can also share their comments for any other suggestions or community members that we might be with. Great to have you here again. See you next time.